Hello everybody. Today we are going to do an unboxing for Kaldheim. I'm including the Phantom Premonition Commander set and the Elven Empire set. But we're also going to open up a couple of random packs just to see what we get. So here we go. First, go ahead and open. All right. A human warrior token. Snow-covered plains. Oh, that's nice. That is nice to see. Magda, Brazen Outlaw. Legendary. Poison the Cup. Uncommon. Forgiving the Tyrite Sword. Uncommon. Giant's Amulet. Uncommon. Frost Peak Yeti. Common. Breakneck Berserker. Common. Littjara Kinseekers. Common. Grizzled Outrider. Common. Elder Fang Disciple. Common. Gold Vein Pick. Common. Struggle for the Skemfar. Struggle for Skemfar. Common. Carfell Harbinger. Common. Open the Omen Paths. Common. And Battlefield Raptor. Common. Next, we can jump into Elven Empire. So there's the constructed box for it. I do have the box it came in. I went ahead and opened that up because I played a game of Commander recently. And it's not a bad deck. It's not a bad deck at all. You do get a couple of tokens. Elf Warrior and Servo. You get 4 of those. And then you get 6 Elemental 7/7 creature tokens that are also Elf Warriors. And now onto the deck. The deck itself consists of legendary creature Elf Noble, Lathro Blade of the Elves, 2 of black and a green with menace. Whenever she enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. Tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life and you gain 10 life. So now you just got to populate elves. So that's cool. Unfortunately, I did just play a game, so it's kind of mixed up. We got some forests. There are swamps. Command tower. We got some more swamps. Forests. A mithril landscape. Path of Ancestry. Foul the Orchid, or Orchard. Yeah, Foul Orchard as a tap land. Golgari Rot Farm as a tap land. We have a Soul Ring to help add mana. Forest. Another forest. An Arcane Signet to help add mana. A Jungle Hollow, dual land. A Golgari Guildgate, dual land. We got some more some more swamps. Some more forests. I do believe there's about 30 land. I could be wrong. Here's a cool one. Skemfar Elder Hall. For two black and a green. Sacrifice Skemfar Elder Hall. Up to one target creature you don't control gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Create 2 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So that's kind of cool. Another swamp. Another swamp. Another swamp. A forest. Another forest. And then the rest of our lands. So that would give 13 swamps, 16 forests, 4 dual lands, a green that taps for more than face value, a command tower, a Path of Ancestry that both tap for any color that's in your commander color. A way to sacrifice and find land or use for generic mana. Another way to get commander color, and also Everyone knows what Sol Ring does, adds 2 generic. So that's our land base. Now we will sit down and go through our creature base. So we have our commander, Lathril, Blade of the Elves, for 2, a black and a green with menace. Nice. Herald, King of Skemfar, 1, a black and a green with menace. And Abomination of Llanowar for 1, a black and a green with vigilance and menace. These are some other legendary creatures that are in the deck. I'm guessing they could be your commander, but they 2 of them have partner. So Mira, Thorn of the Glade for 1 and a black, legendary creature with partner. So you can have 2 for your commander. Legendary creature, Elf Warrior Numa, Joraga Chief Tane with partner for 2/2. So you could have both of them as your commander. Marwyn the Nurturer for 2 and a green, 1/1. Dwenin Gilt Leaf Dane for 2 and 2 green, 3/4. And Rise the Exiled for 2 and a green, 3/2. So you have a lot of options for a commander, since they all are legendary creatures. I'm assuming that's how that works. I've only played 1 game of Commander, so we'll have to find out. But that is a nice foil. I don't know if that's picking up. That's a really nice foil. Next, we can go through and look at our spells. First, we have a Serpent's Soul Jar for 2 and a black. Whenever an elf you control dies, exile it. Tap to pay 2 life. Until end of turn, you may cast a creature spell from among cards exiled with Serpent's Soul Jar. Harvest Season, 2 and a green. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control, and put those cards onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. It's a good way of getting some land out. Bounty of Skemfar, 2 and a green. Sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. An elf card from among them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's big for 3. Only 3 mana? Whew. That's a game changer. Roots of Wisdom for 1 and a green. It's a sorcery. You mill 3 cards, return a land card or elf card from your graveyard to your hand. If you can't, you draw a card. So it's a nice little tutor ability. Eye Blight Massacre for 2 and a 2 black. Sorcery, non-elf creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Kill a small creature or cripple a big one. Return Upon the Tide for 4 and a black. Sorcery, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's an elf, create 2 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. That's big. With Foretell for 4. Ambition's Cost for 3 and a black. Sorcery, you draw 3 cards and you lose 3 life. Not bad, but I could probably switch that out for something. Wouldn't always want to be losing life just to draw. Pact of the Serpent for 1 and 2 black sorcery. Choose a creature type, which is usually elves in this deck. Choose target player draws X cards and loses X life, where X is the number of creatures they control of the chosen type. Oh, so you do it to an enemy. That's pretty big. Now, yeah, this is still sorceries. Casualties of War for 2 black, and 2 green. Choose 1 or more, destroy target artifact, destroy target creature, destroy target enchantment, land, or planeswalker. Do 1 or more. I mean, you could cripple somebody really, really well with this. Elvish Promenade for 3 and a green. Tribal Sorcery Elf. Create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. Bam! Just populate, basically. Putrefy. For 1, a black and a green. Destroy target artifact or creature and it can't be regenerated. Just kill a big guy or kill one of their artifacts that's really giving you trouble. Elven Ambush. For 3 and a green. Instant. Create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. Populate again. Poison the Cup for 1 and 2 black. Destroy target creature. If this spell was foretold, you can scry 2, and you can foretell for 2. A black and a colorless. I love that spell. Turgrid's Shadow for 3 and 2 black. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Nice. Nice. And you can foretell it for 4. Binding the Old Gods. Everyone knows this card. 2 for black and a green. Destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Search your library for a force card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. And creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Enchantment Saga. Pride of the Perfect for 3 and a black enchantment. Elves you control get +2/+0. Buff them up. Elder Fang Venom for 2, a black and a green. Attacking elves you control have Death Touch. Again, that Death Touch, it's going to kill everything. Whenever an elf you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So basically, Death Touch and Lifelink. Crown of Skemfar for 2 and 2 green. Enchantment Aura. Enchant creature. Gets +1/+1 for each elf you control and has reach. Pay 2 and a green. Return Crown of Skemfar from your graveyard to your hand. Put it on a different elf. Prowess of the Fair for 1 and a black. Tribal enchantment elf. Whenever another non-token elf is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. So get 1 for losing 1. Last enchantment, Moldervine Reclamation. For 3, a black and a green. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Nice little exchange. And now we can move on to the creature base. We have some dual color creatures. I'll start out with those. Shaman of the Pack. For 1, a black and a green. Creature Elf Shaman, 3/2. When Shaman of the Pack enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. Boom. Golgori Finebroker. We all know this one. 2 black and 2 green. Elf Shaman. When Golgori Finebroker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's a 3/4. Poison Tip Archer. This is a great one too. For 2, a black and a green. Elf Archer has Reach, Death Touch. Whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. 3/2. Twin Blade Assassins. For 3, a black and a green. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, draw a card. 5/4. Big guy. We don't have that many black creatures in here, but we do have some. Lys Alana Scarblade for 2 and a black. Creature Assassin. You can tap to discard an elf card. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves you control. So kill a big creature. That could work. Elder Fang Ritualist for 2 and a black. Elf Cleric. When Elder Fang Ritualist dies, return another target elf card from your graveyard to your hand. Has 3/1. Nice. Skemfar Shadow Sage for 3 and a black. Creature Elf Cleric. When Skemfar Shadow Sage enters the battlefield, choose 1. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common, which is all elves. Or you gain life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have the same creature type in common. 2/5. So either way, it's a win-win. Ruthless Winowner for 3 and 2 black. Creature Elf Rogue. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-elf creature. 4/4. Way to get rid of your enemy's creatures. Eye Blight Colors. 4 and a black. Elf Warrior. 3/3. When he dies, create 3 1/1 green Elf Warrior creature tokens, then mill 3 cards. Not bad, not bad. Getting towards the end here. Just hang in there with me. Jaspera Sentinel for 1 green. Creature Elf Rogue with Reach, tap an untapped creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. 1/2, not bad. Nice little mana ramp. Elvish Mystic, we all know this one. For 1 green, you can tap it and add a green. Jagged Scar Archers. 1 and 2 green. Creature Elf Archer. Jagged Scar Archers' power and toughness are each equal to the number of elves you control, which you can get quite a few elves on the field. Tap it, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying. It's not bad. Elvish Archdruid. 1 and 2 green. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Tap to add a mana for each elf you control. A really nice way to ramp out. Llanowar Tribe. We all know this one. It's a good ramp card. For 3 green, it's a 3/3, and you can tap it for 3 mana. Elvish Rejuvenator for 2 and a green. Create a creature Elf Druid, 1/1. Whenever Elvish Rejuvenator enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That tutor ability, man. Just get more land out. More land, more ramp. Imperious Perfect. 2 and a green. I might have said that wrong. Creature, Elf Warrior for 2/2. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Pay a green, tap, and create a 1/1 green Elf Warrior creature token. Far Haven Elf for 2 and a green. When Farhaven Elf enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. 1/1 for 2 and a green. Nice. These are good ways to get land out on the field and just start ramping and building your battlefield up. Spring Bloom, Druid, 2 and a green. When he enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a land. If you do, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle your library. 1/1. You sacrifice a land, but you gain a land. Timberwatch Elf for 2 and a green. Tap, target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. Get a big elf. Now we just need a way to get trample. When wood elves enter the battlefield, search your library for a force card, put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Man, for 2 and a green, and it's a 1/1. Yeah, it's a little blocker, but it helps you get land. Reclamation Sage. We all know Reclamation Sage. 2 and a green. When Reclamation Sage enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's a 2/1. Beast Whisperer for 2 and 2 green. Elf Druid. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. Nice little draw spell. Every time you cast something, that's awesome. Masked Admirers, 2 and 2 green. Creature Elf Shaman. When Masked Admirers enter the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay 2. If you do, return Masked Admirers from the graveyard to your hand. It's a 3/2. Voice of Many for 2 and 2 green. When Voice of Many enters the battlefield, draw a card for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you. It's a 3/3. Nice way of getting some card advantage on your opponents. Lists Alana Huntsmaster for 2 and 2 green. Elf Warrior. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. 3/3. Nice. Null Mage Shepherd for 3 and a green. Elf Shaman. 2/4. Tap 4. Untapped creatures you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Wirewood Channeler for 3 and a green. It's a 2/2. You can tap them and add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. Boom! Get some mana. A lot of mana. Man. Sylvan Messenger. 3/1. Trample. Whenever Sylvan Messenger enters the battlefield, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all elf cards revealed this way into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. It's a 2/2. That's a nice way to get some cards. Man, really nice. Canopy Tactician, 3 and a green. Other elves you control get 1/1. It's a 3/3, and you can tap to add 3 mana. 3 green. Get you some more creatures out. Voice of the Woods for 3 and 2 green. Creature elf. Tap 5 untapped elves you control. Create a 7/7 green elemental creature token with trample. It's a 2/2. Cultivator of Blades for 3 and 2 green. Creature elf artificer. Fabricate 2. Nice. When this creature enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 counters on it or create 2 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens. Man. Whenever Cultivator of Blades attacks, you may have another attacking creature get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Cultivator of Blades' power. So if you put those 2 counters on and he's a 3/3, gets +3. +3. He gets +3. Nice. Wolverine Riders, 4 and 2 green, elf warrior. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. It's a 4/4. Man, that's really good. End Raise Forerunners for 5 and 3 green. That's 8 mana. That's a lot of mana. But we have other ways of making mana. Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. It's a 7/7. It's a big boy. When Enraze Forerunners enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. Yowza. Elemental creature token. Elf warrior. Man. That is an awesome deck. Alright, let's keep it moving right along with a 15-card draft booster. I don't necessarily like these. They're a little harder to open. There we go. Wish me luck, guys. $100 pull. I don't even think any of the cards in the set are worth $100 anymore. But wish me luck. Run Amok. Common. Wings of the Cosmos. Common. Dragger Thought Thief. Common. Tuskery Firewalker. Common. Icehide Troll. Common. Death Kneel Berserker. Common. Sculptor of Winter. Common. Shackles of Treyarchy. Common. Raven Form. Common. Bound in Gold. Common. That's a nice looking card. Agar the Freezing Flame. Uncommon. Ooh, Showcase. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Cole the Forge Master. Uncommon. That's nice. Surtland Frostpire. Uncommon. Rally the Ranks. Rare. Snow-covered land and a shard. And then let's go ahead and get into Phantom Premonition. So here we go, Phantom Premonition. Our commander, it looks like, is Renar the Ever Watchful for 2, a white, and a blue. It's a 2/3 with flying and vigilance. The first card you foretell each turn costs 0 to foretell. Whenever you exile one or more cards from your hand and or permanents from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. But we also have Brago, King Eternal, 2, a white and a blue. Legendary Spirit Noble, 2/4, with flying. Whenever Brago, King Eternal deals combat damage to a player, exile any number of target non-land permanents you control. Then return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. And lastly but not least, Vega the Watcher, for 1, a white and a blue. Legendary creature, Bird Spirit. He's a 2/2 with flying. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, draw a card. And what I haven't understood is why they would insert 3 legendary creatures. So I guess you would have 3 different options of who you want to be your commander. It throws me off, but I digress. It's what it is. So we will move on to the rest of the deck. We have our creature base. Banished Heart for 3. Artifact creature Elk. Sacrifice it for 3 and search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Then put them onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. It's a 2/2. Nice little tutor ability. Fetch land. Meteor Golem for 7. Artifact creature. When Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. It's a 3/3. Kind of expensive for a destruction cost. Mist Meadow Witch. 1 and a white or a blue. Creature Kithkin Wizard. It's a 1/1, but for 2, a white and a blue, exile target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Soul Herder. For 1, a white and a blue. Creature Spirit, 1/1. Whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Soul Herder. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control. Then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So since you'd exile another card, you'd put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Just gets big. Empyrean Eagle. Empyrean Eagle. Gosh, man. For 1, a white and a blue. Creature Bird Spirit. It's a 2/3. Flying. Other creatures you control with flying get 1/1. Thunderclap Wyvern. 2, a white and a blue. It's a 2/3 with flash and flying. Other creatures you control with flying get 1/1. Bulk all your flying creatures up. Cloudbrazer. For 3, a white and a blue. Flying. It's a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. Nice little card gain. Ethereal Valkyrie. For 4, a white and a blue. With flying, it's a 4/4. Whenever Ethereal Valkyrie enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. Then exile a card from your hand face down. It becomes Foretold. Its foretell cost is its mana cost reduced by 2. Nice. When Seagate Oracle enters the battlefield, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. It's a 1/3 for 3. Arcane Artesian for 3. 2 and a blue. Creature human 0/3. For 2 and a blue, you can tap. Target player draws a card, then exiles a card from their hand. If a creature card is exiled this way, that player creates a token that's a copy of that card. When Arcane Artesian leaves the battlefield, exile all tokens created with it at the beginning of the next end step. Whirler Rogue for 2 and 2 blue. It's a 2/2. Whenever Whirler Rogue enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 colorless Thropter artifact creature tokens with flying. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Mist Raven for 2 and 2 blue. It's a 2/2 with flying. Whenever Mist Raven enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. Nice. Little unsummon. Mole Drifter for 4 and a blue. Creature elemental with flying. When Mole Drifter enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Invoke for 3. You may cast this spell for its invoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. It's a 2/2. Inspired Sphinx for 5 and 2 blue. Flying. It's a 5/5. When Inspired Sphinx enters the battlefield, draw cards equal to the number of opponents you have. For 3 and a blue, create a 1/1 colorless Thropter artifact creature token with flying. Surtland Elementalist for 5 and 2 blue. Creature giant wizard. He's an 8/8. Big boy. As an additional cost to cast this spell, revel a giant card from your hand or pay 2. Reveal a giant card from your hand or pay 2. Whenever Surtland Elementalist attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's big. Sage of the Beyond for 5 and 2 blue. Creature Spirit Giant. Flying. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 2 less to cast. Foretell for 5. It's a 5/5. Nice. Wall of Omens for 2. 1 and a white. Creature wall with Defender. When Wall of Omens enters the battlefield, draw a card. Flicker Wisp. 1 and 2 white. Creature elemental with flying. When Flicker Wisp enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. It's 3/1. Hero of Bretagard for 2 and a white. Creature human warrior 1/1. Whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your hand and or permanents from the battlefield, put that many 1/1 counters on Hero of Bretagard. As long as Hero of Bretagard has 5 or more counters on it, it has flying and is an angel in addition to its other types. As long as Hero of Bretagard has 10 or more counters on it, it has indestructible and is a god in addition to its other types. Nice. So get a big boy and just start bashing people's faces. Gold Knight Commander for 3 and a white. Creature, human, cleric, soldier. It's a 2/2. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get 1/1 until end of turn. Core Cartographer. For 3 and a white. It's a 2/2. When he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a Plains card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Nice little tutor ability going on. Little fetch land. Static Farmer. Or Stoic Farmer. For 3 and a white. Dwarf Peasant. It's a 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, search the library for a basic Plains card and reveal it. If an opponent controls more lands than you, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. You can foretell it for 2. Restoration Angel for 3 and a white. Has flash and flying. It's a 3/4. When there's the battlefield, you may exile target non-angel creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So trigger something else again. Angel of Finality for 3 and a white. Has flying. It's a 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Cloud Goat Ranger for 3 and 2 white. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, create 3 1/1 white Kenneth Soldier creature tokens. Tap 3 untapped Kenneth you control, and Cloud Goat Ranger gets +2/+0 and gains flying until end of turn. Geist Honored Monk for 3 and 2 white. Human monk with vigilance. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. Sun Titan. 4 and 2 white. It's a 6/6. Big boy. With vigilance. Whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Evangel of Heloid for 4 and 2 white. It's a 1/3. When he enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to your devotion to white. It's a nice little board state officiant. Help get your board state up. Angel of Serenity for 4 and 3 white. It's a 5/6 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile up to 3 other target creatures from the battlefield and or creature cards from graveyards. When Angel of Serenity leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards to their owner's hands. It's a 5/6. A big one. It's a big one. Next, we'll move to enchantments. Nico Defies Destiny. For 1, a white and a blue. You gain 2 life for each foretold card you own in exile. Number 2, you add a white and a blue. You spend this mana only to foretell cards or cast spells that have foretell. And its third is to return target card with foretell from your graveyard to your hand. Not bad, not bad. Banishing Light for 2 and a white. Enchantment. When Banishing Light enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. Get rid of a biggie on the battlefield that you don't want. Ghostly Prison for 2 and a white. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Nice way to get your opponent to attack with 1 or 2 creatures at a time. Marshal's Anthem for 2 and 2 white enchantment with a kicker of 2. Creatures you control get +1/+1. When it enters the battlefield, return up to X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of times Martial Anthem was kicked. That's big. You can kick a creature a couple of times with a low cost like that. Day of the Dragons for 4 and 3 blue enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile all creatures you control, then create that many 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. What? Say what? When Day of the Dragon leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all dragons you control, then return the exiled cards to the battlefield under your control. Nice. Now we can move on to instants. Momentary Blink for 1 and a white. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Has flashback for 3 and a blue. Iron Verdict for 2 and a white. Iron Verdict deals 5 damage to target tapped creature. You can foretell it for 1. Nice. Eerie Interlude for 2 and a white. Exile any number of target creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Nice. Return to Dust for 2 and 2 white. Exile target artifact or enchantment if you cast the spell during your main phase. You may exile up to 1 target artifact or enchantment for 2 and 2 white. Nice. Cosmic Intervention for 3 and a white. Instant. If a permanent you control would be put into a graveyard from the battlefield, this turn, exile it instead. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. You can foretell for 2. Warhorn Blast for 4 and a white. Instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. You can foretell it for 3. Nice. Saw It Coming. 1 and 2 blue. Counter target spell. Foretell it for 2. Nice. Ghostly Flicker. 2 and a blue. Exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control. Then return those cards to the battlefield under your control. So everything triggers a second time. Behold the Multiverse for 3 and a blue. Instant. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. You can foretell it. And you can pay for 1 and the blue, and then you can pay 2 to exile it face down. Nice. Synthetic Destiny for 4 and 2 blue. Exile all creatures you control at the beginning of the next end step. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal that many creature cards. Put all creatures revealed this way on the battlefield, then shuffle the rest of the revealed cards into your library. That's a big one. Sorceries. Got a couple of them. Migratory Route for 3, a white and a blue. Create 4 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying. Basic land cycling for 2. Cleansing Nova for 3 and 2 white. You can destroy all creatures or destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Storm Herd for 8 and 2 white. Create X 1/1 white Pegasus creature tokens with flying, where X is your life total. That is crazy. Windfall. 2 and a blue. Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equals to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. Raven Form. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. You can foretell it for 1. It costs 2 and a blue. Tales of the Ancestors for 3 and a blue. Each player with fewer cards in hand than the player with the most cards in hand draws cards equal to the difference. Foretell for 2. Spectral Deluge for 4 and 2 blue. Return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. Whew. That could be big. Curse of the Swine for X and 2 blue. Exile X target creatures. For each exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green boar creature token. Some of these are just ruthless, man. Our artifacts, we got a Soul Ring, a Commander Sphere. Pretty sure everyone knows what these do. Pay 3, and you can add a mana of any color that's in your commander's identity. You can sacrifice it and draw a card. Azur's Signet for 2, tap to add a white or a blue. Arcane Signet for 2, tap to add a mana of any color that's in your commander's identity. Marble Diamond for 2, tap to add a white. Sky Diamond for 2, tap to add a blue. Mind Stone for 2, tap to add a generic mana or sacrifice it and draw a card. Replicating Ring for 3, add 1 mana of any color at the beginning of your upkeep. Put a night counter on Replicating Ring. Then if it has 8 or more night counters on it, remove all of them and create 8 colorless snow artifact tokens named Replicating Ring with tap to add 1 mana of any color. And then we have an artifact equipment, Swift Boots for 2. Creature has hexproof and haste. The equipment cost is 1. And for our land base, we do have a command tower, an Opal Palace, Gates of Itzfell, tapped at a white, pay 2, a white and 2 blue. You can sacrifice it, you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. We have a Glacial Floodplain, which adds either a white or a blue. And then you have Myriad Landscape. You can sacrifice it and search for up to 2 basic land cards that share a land type. Put them into your battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Cryptic Caves. You can sacrifice it and draw a card. And then you have 5 dual lands. White and blue. One is Meandering River, and the other one is Azurius Guildgate. They both entered tapped. They add a white and a blue. Then you have Azurius Chancery. It enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Adds a white and a blue. Tranquil Cove. Enters battlefield tapped. You gain 1 life and you can tap it for a white or a blue. Sigiri Refugee. Or Refuge. It enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, I gain a life. I can tap it to add a white or a blue. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 plains. And last but not least, we'll end out the video on a pack. On another pack. If I can ever get the damn thing open. I don't think I can get it open. There we go. Send me some luck, guys. Send me some good vibes. No good vibes. Alright, we got a Snowland. Ooh, a snow-covered forest foil. That's kind of cool. Waking the Trolls. Enchantment Saga. Tegrid Shadow. Valkyrie Sword. Uncommon. Neferi's Betrayer King. Legendary Snow Creature. Uncommon. Aguari Raven. Uncommon. Stalwart Valkyrie. Common. Icehide Troll. Common. Draugr Recruiter. Common. King Harold's Revenge. Common. Haji Mob. Common. Master Scald. Common. Roots of Wisdom. Common. Immersturm Raider. Common. I hope you enjoyed that video.